So I went grocery shopping today. We'll call myself going grocery shopping. And I was reminded of how expensive things are. Girl, I got so frustrated. I said, forget it. I'm finna go get me something to eat. And I did just that. I went right to Five Guys and got me something good to eat. Because who finna stress me out? Shoot. It don't make no sense. I went in that store, y'all, and I bought. The plan was this. What I did, I put the stuff in the cart, and by the time I started ringing up everything and putting my girl, I had like 10 things, and it was $200. Why is groceries so high? I'm just trying to fill my freezer. I'm trying to make sure I got something to eat. I'm trying to make sure it's healthy. I didn't want to go get these French fries and cheeseburger. I don't even really eat beef like that. Every now and then when I want a good cheeseburger, I'll go to Five Guys. Now, granted, Five Guys is expensive, but at least I ain't got to cook it and at least it tastes good. Girl, I could not believe it. I literally walked out of the store, y'all, after I ran up everything. Ran up everything? After I added up everything and realized that everything I was trying to purchase, which wasn't a lot of things, was almost $200. It was $200 exactly. Girl, I left all that stuff right there in the middle of the store. I did. No, we not finna do that. I gotta find another way to work things out. Cause I would, no, okay? That's just what it is. Absolutely not. I'm not giving you $200 for groceries. The toilet tissue that I buy and that I need to use was $30. Granted, I was at Sam's, so you expect things to be a little bit more expensive at Sam's. But $30 for some toilet tissue? What? I'm going to go right there to Dollar General and get the little pack for $10 and make it work. Okay? I'm not finna do that. Excuse me? Then I went in there and got me some shrimp. The jumbo shrimp was $30 for $20 to $25. Is you serious? We cool. Don't worry about it. I'm good on that. I'm going to find another way. What I am going to do is just focus on the fun times. Because you know what? I refuse to allow my mind to be overwhelmed with trying to always figure things out. Sometimes you just got to let things be what they are and take it one day at a time. And that's just what I chose to do, which is why I made that stop and went right to Five Guys and took it one moment at a time. Once I sat down, breathed for a second, and really thought about everything that I still have in my freezer, the small things I was able to purchase, I realized I had enough to get me into until the next phase, okay? It reminded me that sometimes we allow our thoughts to get ahead of ourselves, which then brings on anxiety. All you can do for that moment is what's happening in that moment. And sometimes the things that are happening in that moment, you don't even have control over. So what we going to stress for? Let me think on the good things. Good things are these reminders. I went on a cruise. I went to Bonaire. I got to see all the history and the beautifulness of Bonaire. All of the beautiful water. The different animals, the trees, the sky. Everything was just beautiful, and I got to live in that moment. Don't forget that there are good moments that you get to enjoy. And even in the hard moments, you'll get through them. Sometimes you have to be creative. Sometimes you just have to pause, take a deep breath, adjust yourself, and keep going. It's not always as bad as it seems. It could be worse. But for me, it's not. And that is where I should be thankful. That is where my thoughts should be. I might didn't buy the shrimp from Sam's. I can buy some shrimp from Food Lion. I can buy some shrimp from my local seafood place and support small businesses. It don't have to be at Sam's. I can find another way to do it to still achieve the goal that I desire. You know what I mean? I had to pull back for a second. That's why I needed to take that moment and just let me sit down in Five Guys. Let me sit down in my car for a second. Let me breathe. Let me remember good times. Let me remember that I'm not in this alone. Let me remember that all things work together for my good. Let me remember who I am and whose I am. Let me remember that all will be well. All is well. I'm living. I have breath in my body. I have the activity of my limbs. I still have a job. I still have family. I still have friends. There's so much support around me that I'm not going to fail. I don't have to figure this out on my own. All I have to do is just take a moment to think. I was good. Just a little frustrated.